Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Shade coming to you from Issaquah, Washington. Today I'm going to teach a short lesson on 16th notes, and the lesson's out of String Basics Book 2, page 34. This lesson is directed toward my students in the 7th grade toward the end of their second year of playing. Teachers, if you would like to use this video for your students or for whatever purposes you'd like, please feel free. Feedback welcome. Let's get to it. All right, kiddos, I know you've been waiting a long time to do 16th notes, and so here we are. I want to tell you a little bit about the math behind the music, which is the following. There are 4 16th notes in one beat of music. So we need our counting system. There's a lot of different ones, but we're just going to use 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E. Let's say the rhythm with Mrs. Shade. Ready? 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Simple enough. How do you play these 16th notes? Well, for one thing, you need to use just very tiny amounts of bow, and you need to put your bow right here in the middle. Cello and bass students, yours will be down a little closer to the frog. It's the nature of your instrument. So I would like for you to stay very loose with your bow hand, very tiny amounts of bow, nice loose fingers. Here's another rhythm. 1 E and a, 2 and, 3 E and a, 4 and. 1 E and a, 2 and, 3 E and a, 4 and. Please do that on an open string and say the rhythm in between. And there are times when you're going to say the rhythm as you play. It's so important, kids. I cannot stress that enough. Before we get into our book, I just want to give you an example of what not to do when playing 16th notes. Goodness gracious. Try very hard to be loose and just use the fingers and a little bit of wrist, not the whole arm. Okay, now let's look over here at our interactive practice studio that I have up on my computer, and I've also got my book open. We're on page 34. I would really like for you all to study the top of the page, so the information is very valuable there. On number 135, counting 16th notes, there's a rhythm line, and as you can tell, we've already been using that rhythm. So I would like for us to play line A together, and be careful with your bow placement. And here we go. Repeat. So taking another look at our interactive practice studio, I wanted to show you all, if you click on the yellow star, you're going to get a fun fact about something having to do with the line of music. Very cool. Here on water polo, number 136, it just gives you a real quick fact about a little video about water polo and what it is and how to play it and such. So very cool feature. Hope that you will use it. Now, let's use our practice tracks just for fun, but please learn the line before you put the practice tracks with it. Here we go, water polo.
Rest, 2, 3, and 4, and.
Repeat. In conclusion, kids, 16th notes are a lot of fun to play, but I want you to know that there's lots of different rhythmic combinations that contain 16th notes. It's very important for you to count these out loud before you play. And you can also pizzicato the rhythms before you play as well. On page 34, for instance, we have a bunch of different combinations on this whole page. Look at number 138, the line 138. This is how you would count it, and feel free to count along with Mrs. Shade. 1, 2, 3, and 4 E and a. 1, 2, 3, and 4 E and a. So counting that before playing it is super important, and thanks so much for joining me today.